Hey, folks, this is WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan. I took on the Iron Sheik from Iran. I took on Nikolai Volkov from the USSR. I took on Andre the Giant from France. I just want you to know, time for more political mayhem with the American Adversaries. Tough guy, how about a ho?
And this is Lair Adams for the American Adversaries, and I took on the amazing Bob the Hamster, and I lost. That's why he's a wrestler and I'm not. Folks, this is the American Adversaries. I'm here with my co-host, Christopher Hart. I am Lair Adams. And we have a treat for you. Actually, one of our interns here, actually our main intern, Mr. Lucas. That's right, Lucas Paris, let us know something we didn't know, that his brother was running for county commissioner of Longwood.
City Commission, something
like that. They're similar. They're inside each other, yeah. And that's where I happen to live, so I'm definitely interested in this one. So we have with us today Ben Paris, who, again, is running he's a candidate for city commissioner of Longwood. Ben, how are you today?
I'm doing very good, thank you. Larry, thank you very much. And Christopher, thank you for allowing me this opportunity to come on the show.
Well, we appreciate you being on here. And by the way, you got a great brother. He does a lot of hard work for us for very, very little, if nothing, pay.
You've been doing the same for my campaign. I appreciate him.
Okay. Are you presently the city commissioner?
No, I'm running against the incumbent, Bob Cortez.
Okay. Does this race a partisan race?
This is a nonpartisan race. We are not running a political party, no.
Okay, now this is for District 3, but that doesn't really matter because it's everybody in the city will be able to vote.
Anybody in the entire city can vote. That is correct. It's not limited to the district you live in. Anybody within the incorporated city of Longwood can vote in this race.
And this will be on the city, on the ballot of Seminole County voters, I take it. Where on the ballot will it be amongst all the other things?
I will be over on the far right-hand side, about halfway down the page from what I've seen on the sample ballot.
Okay, so if you live in the city of Longwood and you want to vote for the city commissioner, it'll be about halfway down on the far right-hand side of the front page where the presidential ballots are. Why do you want to be city commissioner?
Well, I guess I should give a little background. I've been living in Longwood for 7 years as a homeowner and working for the city of Longwood for 5 years. And went to high school in Longwood, actually. And I've seen Longwood in its best, and I've seen Longwood as it's starting to go to where I think it's its worst. I've seen Longwood's government work, and I've seen Longwood's government not work.
Well, so you've never held a political office before, correct?
I've never held a political office, no.
Okay, well, I live in Longwood too, and I love the town. It's a great little town. My biggest complaints, I would say, are some of the restrictions. If you want to do anything on your house, I mean, we've got a code enforcement battalion there that is on you if you want to change a light bulb in your house. And this has been a problem. I talked to my neighbors. They all seem to have a problem with that. What is it with all these restrictions and regulations and with this Gestapo-like...
and what can you do about it?
Yeah.
Well, I think, it's a lot of it's the
code enforcement.
Code enforcement. And, I can't blame them for doing their job. The problem really is the code itself. It's antiquated, it's old, and it's too strict. Like you said, I mean, the code is, as difficult as you can only have 2 garage sales a year, 6 months apart. These are the kind of things that are going on in Longwood. Again, permits for doing renovations in your house are difficult to get. Contractors don't want to do work in Longwood because of this. And we really need to streamline this permitting process, make it easier for development, keep businesses coming in, and make people want to increase the value of their homes.
Well, on that point, let me ask you this. Okay, we know that construction is way down, even rebuilds and things like that. So do you need all these code enforcement people like you did before? I've got to wonder about that.
Well, I agree. We have to, and it's becoming a proactive code enforcement. They drive around looking for violations, and I think that's a little too much. Maybe we should go back to the old system. People are struggling to cut their lawns, and maybe we need to worry less about lawns being a little too high, more about getting police on the street and repairing our roads.
And have a town that people want to come to and be a part of.
Yeah, it's a difficult, to balance there. You don't want to necessarily get rid of code enforcement, then people's properties just fall apart. But at the same time, you don't want to make it so difficult people don't want to live there anymore.
Ben Paris, by the way, folks, if you're a resident of Longwood and would like to ask Ben Paris, a candidate for Longwood City Commission, a question, 407-774-8255. Ben, let me ask you this. Are you running against an incumbent?
Yes, I'm running against incumbent Bob Cortez. This is his first term.
Okay. What's one of your big differences with him? Has he done anything recently that you think would sort of disqualify him for the job?
Well, the biggest thing that we disagree on, I have nothing personally against Bob, but he just recently voted a 3-2 vote to raise the millage rate in Longwood by 10%. This is the Longwood City millage rate for your property by 10%, half a mil. Now, this is I don't see how raising taxes in the worst recession we've had in 73 years makes any sense for bringing businesses and people to Longwood. It just doesn't make any sense.
That is nuts.
Speaking of bringing development to Longwood, we got a question, the caller didn't want to come on the air, but what about any thoughts about Sunrail and its impact on the downtown, in particular the historic district of Longwood?
This is a great opportunity for Longwood, but I think some people think of it as being this is the savior going to help things out. I think it's kind of opposite. We need to have the infrastructure in place when this opens in 2014. We can't just expect businesses to come here and open their doors once the rail's there. We need to have the rail there so people get off in Longwood and actually shop and, patronize and not make us the stop that people just pass by on their way to downtown Orlando.
Okay. Once again, folks, you're listening to Ben Paris, Longwood City Commissioner. And one other question before we get on here is, so you mentioned that you would like to beef up the police force?
Well, there's an interesting thing. From what I understand, we've actually limited down to basically half the coverage by putting 2 police officers in the cars, which I find this interesting that now we've kind of halved the coverage of the police department. I find this to be a mistake. I'd rather have our police officers out and about in the city, not 2 per car. I don't think this is a good idea. Now, again, I'm not making a decision. I want to look into it further, but I don't see how we can have the same coverage with 2 per car.
How long has that been going on?
This is just a recent development.
I hadn't heard about it at all. I mean, but you're right. It makes a lot more sense to distribute your officers or, having them in more different places. They can cover a lot more ground. Having 2 officers in 1 car?
Yeah, this isn't New York City. I don't think we need 2 officers in 1 car.
Okay, now, do you have a day job?
Yeah, by day, I'm actually an aquatic biologist.
Okay.
And I work for a company down in Sanford, yes.
Okay, now, obviously, the city commission is probably not going to require all your time. Will you stay employed at that?
I will stay employed. The city commission is a part-time opportunity that I'll be investing a lot of time into, but I'll still be working a full-time job. Yes.
Okay, so you're not some guy just sitting around with nothing to do looking for a few bucks to make easy or something like that?
No.
I don't mean to insult your intelligence there, but it's helpful for our audience to know who you are.
Especially being an aquatic biologist. That sounds, I take you work at the water department? Or
I work a lot with water and lakes and all that. Yes.
Cool.
Is there a website or some other location where people can contact you, find more about your campaign?
Absolutely. You can visit benparis.org. I invite you to go there, and from there you can link to our Facebook page and like Ben Paris and, look for more information. From my website, you can actually contact me, and I answer every single email every night before I go to bed. So if there's any questions, feel free to contact me, and I'll go to your door. I
have a question for you, Ben. Can you give us an example of something that the incumbent does now that you're against? I mean, do you have any issues with him that you disagree with him on?
Well, beyond the tax issue.
Yeah.
Beyond the tax issue, just lack of leadership. There's really not much going on. If you drive through Longwood, if you're a citizen of Longwood, you've seen businesses leaving. We're losing businesses down 434. You go down 436, there's businesses. You go down Lake Merla Boulevard, there's businesses.
And the only time they'll let you put out a sign is one that says you're going out of business.
Right, when you're going out of business. I've talked to many small business owners who have the same issue. They try to put up their grand opening signs and put flags out, and code enforcement comes in and tells them they can't do that. And we wonder why local businesses are failing.
So it's your idea to be a little bit more business-friendly in order to rejuvenate the city.
I think that's a pretty basic concept that's been going on for a long time. Lower taxes, be business-friendly, and businesses will come in. It's the vacuum. They will fill the vacuum.
It sure seems to work out when it's tried.
Absolutely.
Ben Paris, good luck to you. Once again, that website?
benparis.org.
benparis.org, folks. Longwood City Commission sounds like some good fresh blood. Might want to give him strong